Hello, welcome to Fairy and Spoil. Today I'm going to be talking to you about arthritis in dogs and how supplements help them. So this is Humps. So he has been rescued from Korea. We've only had him for 8 weeks and he has terrible arthritis. And I have never, in all my years of owning dogs, I've never had a dog with arthritis. I'm completely new to it. And one of the things that we are doing is we are using supplements because he can't take the tablets for anti-inflammatory that the vets can give. They make him very sick. And having done my research, I actually wouldn't go down that road anyway. It doesn't seem like a good road at all. So we're going down the road of natural products and supplements. And I've been researching it all week and I'm very excited about what I found and how those supplements can help Humps with his arthritis. So I've gone through everyone individually. I've spent a day each day I researched a different one. And I just tell you about what I found, what the product does, side effects, good, bad, all of it. And I'm very excited about what I found. So I will go through them all with you now. Right, so the first thing I needed to find out was, what is arthritis? Now, I thought this was going to be really complicated. It's not. It's really, really simple. So it's just that around joints, so in this case, the joints of the knee and the joints of the hip, there is cartilage and fluid. And what those two things do is they cushion the joints. So when they're moving, that cartilage and that fluid is making it nice and bouncy for the joints. But what happens with arthritis is it attacks the cartilage and the fluid, so you don't have that, or it's damaged, and therefore it means that there's nothing cushioning the joints and it's just bone on bone. And when that bone on bone is bashing on each other or rubbing against each other, and the other thing that can happen is the bone should be nice and smooth, but when the cartilage goes and the joints are banging against each other, the bones can go jagged. So they're not just gliding against each other, they're actually hitting each other, and they shouldn't be hitting each other. There should be cartilage and fluid cushioning them, and that cartilage and fluid is either gone or damaged. So what happens then is that causes the bones to swell because they're bashing against each other, and that swelling, well, obviously that's inflammation, and then that is causing the pain. So I thought that was actually quite simple. I thought that was going to be so much more complicated. So what I've now got to work out is, and what I found out is that, so you can't cure it, you can't cure arthritis, and it will continue to get worse. However, you can repair cartilage. It doesn't seem like you can repair it to 100%, but it does seem from what I've read that you can certainly stop it from getting worse and you can restore it. So although they say arthritis isn't curable, surely if you can help the cartilage build back up, then you can certainly help it an awful lot. So that's what I'm going with. So now what I need to look at is, so all of the supplements that we're using, I need to now look at those supplements and see what they do. And although when I put Humps on them, I read what they did, it didn't really make any sense because I didn't know what arthritis was. So I didn't understand what was needed. But now I understand that we need stuff that builds the cartilage and the liquid back up. So now that's making perfect sense. So I'm now going to go and research all of the supplements, find out exactly what they do, and then I will tell you one by one in the rest of this video what I find out. Right, okay, so it's the next day now, and so today I've been researching turmeric. So this is the one that I give to my boys. No particular reason why I use this brand. You know, it just is what it is. And it comes in capsules, which I can't open with one hand. And if I open them, they're all going to think that they can have one, and they can't. So I can't open them, but basically it's just capsules, and it's really easy. You can just open them up and pour the turmeric into the food. It's really, really easy. You get 365 capsules, so that's a good amount. And yeah, I've just followed the instructions on the back for the amount to give them. Now, so turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. So, you know, I told you earlier on that when dogs have arthritis, the cartilage that cushions the bones, that is either gone or it's damaged. And therefore the bones bash together and the bones swell, and that causes pain. Well, turmeric will take down that swelling. So it's an anti-inflammatory, but it will also work as pain relief. So that's really good. I'm really pleased about that. I did find a couple of things which you should know. If your dog is diabetic, then a turmeric can lower their sugar level, so be aware of that. If your dog has kidney stones, then you shouldn't give them turmeric. The other thing that I came across a lot of charts that telling you how much turmeric to give your dog, so you could just buy it from the supermarket and give it to them. I'm not going to do that. I really wouldn't recommend you do that, because even though it's a spice, it's not a natural medication. It is powerful, and it does have you know, well, not side effects, but you know, it's a powerful thing to be given a dog. And so therefore I'm not going to trust charts or anything like that. I'm going to always buy it from a proper company that have worked out the amounts and measured the amounts out. The other reason that I'm always going to buy it from a company is because I'm getting conflicting opinions on. So when humans eat turmeric, they have to have it with black pepper and a fat, or else our bodies won't absorb it. So when I have my turmeric in the morning, the tea bags it comes in already contain black pepper, and then I add butter. That is as disgusting as it sounds, but it does me good, so I just get on with it. So I wanted to know, well, do dogs need to have the fat as well? And some places say they do, and some places say they don't. So I really don't know. So therefore, that's another reason why I'm always going to buy the tablets from a company that have already made them. Because I was looking at the ingredients on these. Where have they gone? Here. And I don't know. I mean, so it's got the turmeric powder, the black pepper, anti-caking agent. I'm assuming that's just so they can make them into a tablet. But I don't know. Are any of these ingredients at the end, are they a fat? So I don't know. So just because of that, that also is another reason why I won't just feed them it. Why I won't just feed them it. I'll always buy tablets just to be on the safe side. So yeah, this is really quite straightforward. So I'm really pleased about that then. So that is going to act as an anti-inflammatory, which will actually be acting as a painkiller. So that's very, very handy. So that's turmeric. Right, hello. So today I'm going to talk to you about glucosamine, which I've been researching. Now, this wasn't as straightforward as turmeric. Turmeric was really quite straightforward. This was not. It got a load more complicated. But what I managed to take out of it and understand was that it works as both. So it is an anti-inflammatory, but more importantly, also it builds up the cartilage. So remember, the cartilage was the spongy thing between the bones that's lost or damaged due to the arthritis. That builds that back up. So this is really important. So I'm really pleased with that because that means that we've got the turmeric doing the pain relief and taking the swelling down, and then we've got the glucosamine that is building the cartilage up. From what I could make out, it is an anti-inflammatory, but not half as effective as an anti-inflammatory as it is for building the cartilage back up. So yeah, so that works well along with the turmeric. So this is the one that I am giving the boys at the moment. Again, no particular reason. It just was a good quality one that I could get. And this doesn't actually say glucosamine, but it is. It's a glucosamine tablet. And again, it's a capsule. Just open it up and pour it onto their food. Let me just have a look at the side effects on that one. Yeah, right. Now, so it said on this one that if you gave too high a dose, then it could cause liver damage. And so this is what I was saying in my other video about the turmeric. Even though it's a spice and so it doesn't seem particularly damaging, actually it can be in the wrong dosage. So that's why I'm always going to stick to buying actual tablets where, you know, it's the right amount of doses in the tablets. And so I mean, I don't even know if you could buy glucosamine on its own. I don't know. But anyway, I'm always going to stick to buying the tablets so that I know that I'm giving the boys the right dose. The turmeric and the glucosamine I give to all of my boys, even though only Hump's over there. He's the only one with arthritis. But Albert here is 9 years old now, and before I put him on the glucosamine, he was starting to get a bit stiff. And so the glucosamine, the turmeric, I put him on them, and it's taken all that stiffness away. It's been really, really good. With Humps, I mean, we've only had him on this medication for a few weeks. We've only actually had him for 7 weeks. So, but I've seen a difference. I've seen a difference already, and I will do update videos to let you know how I'm going. But yeah, so that's glucosamine. Right, now something that did come up with this and did come up with the turmeric was that the side effects can be diarrhea and constipation. And if that happens, just reduce the dose for a little bit and then build back up. I find that with some things, like I give my dogs, well, Albert and Harry, I don't know about Humps, but Albert and Harry, I give them Piriton because they both suffer with bad hay fever. And I find that when I first put them on it, it does that. It makes them very constipated. And so you just have to bring the dose back and then bring it back up. But now they've kind of got used to it every summer, and so they don't have the side effects. But if your dogs do have the side effects, it just says to reduce the dose and then bring it back up. So what's great about all of these things that I've got is you can just open the capsule up and you can just pour it in. So if your dog was constipated or had diarrhea, what you could do is open the capsule up, but just give maybe half of it just to get it used to it for a few days. And the thing that did come up with this, and it came up with the turmeric, was that you have to be consistent with it because it builds up in the system. So don't miss days or anything like that. You must be consistent with it. So if your dog's got constipation or diarrhea, don't just stop giving them to them. Just reduce the amount to get their system used to it. I mean, obviously, if it's not improving for some reason, then maybe then you're going to need to stop it. But if it was me, what I would do, my dogs haven't had any problems at all. They're all absolutely fine with it. But if it was me, I would open up the capsule and only put half of it in, do that for a few days until they get used to it, and then build back up. So that is glucosamine. Hello, today I have been researching green-lipped mussel. Now this has always come up as being some wonder thing for arthritis, and I can really see why. So it does two things. So let me show you first what we've given them. So this is the one that I use. Harry's very interested in it there. So green-lipped mussel, again as always, no particular reason why I'm using this brand. Comes in capsules, so you can just open it up and tip it into their food. And as always, just get it off Amazon. It's nice and easy. Yeah, that's nice and straightforward. So let me tell you, so this is really good, this, because it's an anti-inflammatory, so therefore it reduces the pain, and it also works to build up the cartilage. So this is one of the tablets that's doing the double thing. So that's really, really good. I'm really pleased about that. So I found out a couple of things about it. So yeah, they said that when I was researching that you really should feed this one with food. Now I feed all of the supplements that my dogs are on with food. This one mentioned it, whereas none of the others have mentioned it. So if you were thinking about just giving it to them at a different time, it's probably best if you don't do that. It's probably best if you do put that in their food. If your dog has a shellfish allergy, then you shouldn't give it to your dog. But I figured you'd know that. I mean, it's clearly a shellfish, and it's a mussel, so green-lipped mussel. They come from New Zealand. I don't know how many dogs have shellfish allergies. I've never heard of it. I don't know how common it is. But what they did say was, when I was researching it, was that because you may not know, a bit like us really, if you don't know if they've got a shellfish allergy, if you give it to them, be around. Don't give it to them and then leave. So give it to them on a day to start with when you're going to be around. And the other thing it said was that it builds in the system. So they're very much the same as the turmeric. It builds in the system and it takes a while to build up. This one, the time it took for you to see results was longer than the turmeric or the glucosamine. But I think from the research that I saw, the researchers seem more happy about this product. They seem like it's a really, really good thing for arthritis. So it's worth sticking with it. So I can see how you could use it for a few months. I think a month is a long time. And think this isn't doing anything. But it's worth sticking with it. And the thing is, for me, because we're using all the other stuff, I'm definitely seeing results with humps. There was no question about it. He is so much better than he was when we first got him 8 weeks ago now. So, you know, I don't know which part of it's all working, but something from all the stuff that we're using is working. But yeah, the green mussel, they do say to, you've got to stick with it a bit. But it sounds to me like it's absolutely worth sticking with it. And they also said that it's a long-term thing because it's not fixing anything. Well, it's fixing stuff, but it's temporary. So if you stop giving it to them, then it's going to stop working. That's quite common sense, really. So yeah, it's more of a long-term thing, and I couldn't find any side effects at all for it. So that's green lip mussel. Right, now I'm going to talk to you about what I have found out about hyaluronic acid. I'll spell that out for you. So it's HYALURONIC. So it's hyaluronic acid. I'll put it in the description so that you can actually see it for yourself. I'm very excited about this find. This is really new to me. I haven't been aware of it. I didn't know what it was, never heard of it. Whereas all the other stuff, I was aware of it and I had kind of heard of it. But I'd never heard of this before. So basically this is naturally occurring in the body. So whereas everything else wasn't something that's in the body, it's something from outside the body, this naturally occurs in the body. It's a naturally occurring molecule, and it bonds with water to cushion joints. And it's the primary ingredient in the fluid that lubricates joints, so therefore helps them to just glide along nice and smoothly. So it's naturally occurring in the body, and it keeps joints really healthy. It keeps the cushioning of the joints nice and padded out, and it keeps the fluid around the joints as it should be. And it said when I researched it that dogs that are getting older, they naturally drop their levels of it, and then that can cause them to be stiff. But now with this, you can put it back in, and I can see how that would just help so much. So that's very exciting. Side effects were the same as glucosamine, and in that it can cause diarrhea and it can cause vomiting. But like I said before in the video, just back up your dose and then come back up to where you should be. Now, I'm doing things slightly different with this. So when I found out about this, I wanted to buy it. And this is the product that I've decided to go with. So I looked for tablets where it was just it on its own. But this is what I've come up with. So it's a Yumove product. And remember, I'm not sponsored by anything. I never will be sponsored by anything. I always need you to believe that if I'm using something, it's what's best for my dogs. So it's a Yumove product, and it contains the acid. But what else about this is it also contains, I don't think you're going to be able to see that, are you? Or maybe you are. It contains the glucosamine and the green lip mussel. So things are going to have to change. Rather than giving individually all the supplements that I've been showing you through this video, what I'm going to do is I will give them one of these and the turmeric, because this doesn't contain turmeric, and turmeric looks like it's very important. So I'll give them one of this plus the turmeric, and that way they are still getting the turmeric, the glucosamine, the green lip mussel, and now this acid. I've got to make a decision because Humps here, he is one with arthritis, as you know. Harry doesn't have arthritis, but he did pull a muscle in his leg last year. Every now and again, he does lift that leg when he runs. So there's a weakness there. I've had him on turmeric and green lip mussel and glucosamine probably for about 6 months now. But this acid, hyaluronic acid, I really can't say that, hyaluronic acid, is a completely new thing to me. And so I've only just got this box of stuff. And so I have already started Humps on it. And I've put Harry on it because I just want to see if we can just... The muscle is pulled. It's not like an injury that's always there, but just now and again it niggles him. So I'm going to have him on Yumove. The decision I've got to make is Albert, my other boy, is the other side of me here. He's 9, but he's the fittest out of a lot of them. He has got no problems. He's fine. Now, like I said earlier in the video, he did get a bit stiff. Probably about last year, I think it was. He did start to get a bit stiff. And so that's when I put him on the turmeric and the glucosamine. And it completely sorted him out really, really well. So my thought is, well, he's not really got arthritis or anything like that, so he doesn't need the acid. But actually, having thought about it, I've changed my mind about that. And even though he's running around like he really does run, you would not know he was 9. You really wouldn't. I've actually decided that I'm going to give him everything, just in case. I mean, he's 9, so there will be wear and tear there. And like I said, he's a runner. He runs and he's fast. So, I'm going to put him on everything. So let me just reiterate. I can't talk today, honestly, all the words. So I'm going to put them on this Yumove. That has glucosamine, green lip mussel, and the hyaluronic acid. I'm then going to give them the turmeric separately. So I will no longer give them the glucosamine tablets or the green lip mussel tablets because they are contained in this. And as I said earlier, what I found out from my research, although it's herbs and spices and food, it's all very natural, you can overdose them, and obviously you don't want to be doing that. So you still got to be careful about sticking to the dosages that's recommended. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm very excited about this. And as with all the products, I will do an update to let you know how we are getting on. So that is hyaluronic acid. The next thing that I'm going to talk to you about is salmon oil. I have been feeding my dog salmon oil their whole lives. When we first got Albert, he had such bad hot spots that the vet talked about putting him down because his quality of life was so bad. Well, I wasn't having any of that. And I said, no, I will find a way. Give me this dog. I will find a way to sort him out. And that's exactly what I did. If you have got a dog with itchy skin or hot spots or anything like that, I've done a whole video, really in-depth video about everything that I did to get Albert, like I said, quality of life was so bad that really, we were talking about putting him down. Well, I wasn't, but the people who had him were, and then I made him completely better and everything's just great now. I've done a whole video, a real in-depth video about that. I'll link it at the bottom, at the end. Videos at the end, I'll link it there. So that's what I started giving Albert this salmon oil, and then I just went on. Harry came along and I gave it to him. Dogs before, I've given them mackerel. It's just something I've always done. I've always given my dogs an oily fish. This salmon oil, I give them a spoonful of it every morning when we get back from our walk. And so although I've been doing it for the skin, it lubricates joints. In fact, salmon oil does amazing things for dogs' brain, immune system. There's no part of a dog that doesn't benefit from having salmon oil. It really, really is good. And you can see here, all I do is from Tesco's, I get the pink salmon oil, and I just give them a spoonful every day, and this tin lasts about a week. If you've only got one dog or two dogs, you can get smaller tins. They're like half the size of this, and I just open it up, leave it in the fridge, and give them a spoonful every morning. But so I think, well, I wonder what that's doing to the arthritis then. And I looked it up, and as I suspected, it lubricates the joints. So it's lubricating the joints, and so that can only be a good thing. One thing you do need to be careful of, that obviously it's an oil, and therefore it's fatty. And so you've got to really be careful of that, that you don't give them too much. You shouldn't really anyway. I mean, it's a very rich thing. Don't give them too. When I say I give them a spoonful every day, that isn't just the oil, that's the whole thing. So I tip this out into a container, mash it all in, so the oil is all mashed in with the actual meat of the fish. And then I just give them a spoon each. But just be careful with that, because it would be very easy, I think. Well, it would be very easy to get a dog fat and give them too much, and they absolutely love it. So don't give it to them as their main meal or anything like that. It's just a supplement on the side. But yeah, I wouldn't ever stop doing that. It's a really, really good product. So that's salmon oil. So that's it. I've finished now. I haven't got anything else. That's everything that I give my boys, everything that I'm going to be giving to them. It's I'm actually very excited, because although, like I said, I've been using turmeric and glucosamine for a while now, I knew they were good. I sort of knew what they did, but I was using them for different things. I wasn't using them for arthritis. So having researched now, I'm very excited about what it can do for the arthritis. I think that's very exciting, to think it can actually be rebuilding the cartilage back up, taking the inflammation down. And what's really exciting is that day by day, I see Humps improve. Every day I see him. Like, he runs a little bit more on the walk, or he's just more playful. In the mornings when we get up, he's not so stiff. I'm seeing the difference, really, really seeing it. I would really, really recommend that if you've got a dog with arthritis, you get them onto this stuff, because I'm seeing the difference. Obviously, the other thing with the arthritis, there's other things. And I did a video last week talking about the other things that matter with arthritis and that I'm doing. So this is just the supplement. But yeah, and I'll definitely will keep you updated. Something I do just want to say is, so as you know, I've spent this week researching every day. The thing that keeps coming up is that the anti-inflammatory tablets that you can get from the vet, the side effects to those are pretty horrendous. And I'm not so sure vets are really letting on about that. And also the fact that you can't keep your dog on them for a long period of time because of these side effects. Whereas all of the stuff that I've talked about today, they can be on that for the rest of their life. And then the longer they're on it, the more it's building up. So it can only be a good thing. So I would really suggest that if you are going down the road of the anti-inflammatory tablets from the vet, just Google the side effects before you do that, because I was quite shocked at that. That isn't a road we were ever able to go down, because Humps just had bad reactions to them all. But I don't care about that, because I'm much happier on this path. And I think even if he could take those tablets, I still would have him on this path of the natural supplements, because I think they work so much better, and it's long term. So I'm much happier with all of that. So as always, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, Furry and Spoil. I'm doing my dog walk photo challenge every day, which is where I take a photograph of something on my dog walk that isn't a dog. And it's just really helping me to slow down a bit on my walks. Because on my walks, I'm so focused on the dogs. And that's how it should be, obviously. But I walk through some really lovely places and I don't see them. I'm just focused on, the dogs. So I'm really enjoying having a look around and picking something to photograph. And I'd love it if you did it with me. I would really love to see them. Hashtag Furry and Spoilt. Tag me in. I'd really love to see them. And as always, if you've got a dog that's had arthritis, can you please talk to me about it? Because I'm very new to this. I've never had a dog with arthritis. All my years of owning dogs, years and years, I've never had one with arthritis. So can you please talk to me if your dog has got arthritis and how your treatment is going, what treatment you're using, if you're using any of the supplements that I'm talking about. Please, come on, can you talk to me? Because I need to know how you're getting on with it. That would be really great. And of course, if you've got any questions, pop them into comments, contact me on Twitter or Instagram. I'll see if I can help you. But if I can't, there might be people who are reading them who have actually had more experience with arthritis than I have that can help you. But yeah, let's have a chat about this, because it seems like a horrible, well, it is, it's a horrible thing. But I'm really got high hopes now with all this stuff, I really have. So that's it for today. So next week, let me just tell you, next week, I am going to be talking about, I need to know, why does exercise help arthritis? Because it seems to, but not too much, but some exercise helps them. I need to know why that is. And I also need to know, why does the, like, heat and cold and wet and windy, and why do weather conditions, or just heat and cold, why do they affect arthritis? Because they definitely do. That is the thing that got me onto the fact that he's got arthritis, is that if it was raining or cold, he was so much worse. And, you know, vets were talking about all sorts of different joint problems, and that is what alerted me, and that is when the x-rays and they looked and stuff, and he did. But I want to know why. I don't understand why any of those conditions affect arthritis. So I'll be researching that in the coming week, and then next Thursday I'll put a video out for you answering those questions. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely week, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye bye.